It's like I can walk on the ceiling. Oh yeah, got me dreaming, dreaming in colors I never dreamed in. Oh yeah, I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Filling up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, magic. No, I'm never letting go. Now that I've been with you, when you kiss me, it's like the stars fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Filling up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, take me higher. You take me higher, baby, take me higher. You take me higher, baby, take me higher. Yeah, you take me higher, baby.
Welcome to Radical Truth to Power, the progressive news show with Let's BS3. I am your host, Marlon Clyburn, along with Diaz Robinson, Hannah Hart, and Tracy Carson. And on today's show, we're going to clean out the bucket that I had yesterday on Trump. We're going to actually look at the video where he just feels like his mind is just that powerful. We're also going to look at a video of Fox News trying to help Trump, but failed miserably, flat on his face. We're also going to take a deep dive in what's the protest that's going on in Iran. And last but not least, we're going to look into the Brett Favre welfare fund scandal.
Fraud, welfare fraud. Yes.
Fraud. The welfare fraud scandal. So, how's everybody doing tonight?
We good, Pastor.
I'll tell you one thing. This weather got me tired. Tired. And I'm not even tired, but it's tiring.
Hey, Mickey.
Hey, Becky.
Hello.
While Tracy can sit there and walk around in 40-degree weather. Can't do it. Can't do it.
Hmm.
Oh, Mother Heart.
Hello, Mama.
Hello, hello.
Well, without further ado, let's get this party started. If I can find it. Yeah, here we go. We're going to start off with the investigation into Brett Favre and the welfare fraud scandal that he's found himself into. And this is, I'm going to hold off to the end. So let's take a look and see what we're talking about.
Details on the Brett Favre scandal involving the misuse of welfare funds to build a volleyball facility in Mississippi. As CBS 2's Leslie Marin tells you today, text messages reveal that Favre kept pushing for the money, it seems, even after being warned it was potentially illegal.
A new bombshell court filing puts former NFL quarterback Brett Favre under further scrutiny. In it, lawyers for former Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant write, Favre continued working to obtain funds for a multi-million-dollar volleyball center at his alma mater, the University of Southern Mississippi, where his daughter played the sport at the time, despite being told it could possibly be an illegal use of state funds. The funds for this project were part of a broader state audit. It found $77 million of federal welfare grant funds meant for the temporary assistance for needy families program in Mississippi were instead used to help fund projects desired by the politically connected and celebrities, including Favre. In the filing, an attorney for Bryant produced text messages between his client and Favre, arguing Bryant pushed back on Favre's request for funding. In 2019, Bryant texted Favre, use of these funds is tightly controlled. An improper use could result in violation of federal law. Auditors are currently reviewing the use of these funds by Families First. As soon as the audit is complete, we will know if the project at USM is a proper expenditure. Favre continued to press the governor in September, writing, we obviously need your help big time, and time is working against us, and we feel that your name is a perfect choice for this facility, and we are not taking no for an answer. You are a Southern Miss alumni, and folks need to know you are also a supporter of the university. Bryant responded, we are going to get there. This was a great meeting, but we have to follow the law. I am too old for federal prison. According to investigators, more than $4 million was used to build Favre's desired volleyball center. And according to the new filing, Favre also tried to secure additional funds for an indoor football arena he hoped would attract better recruits. The State Department of Human Services, led by then-Director John Davis, gave more than $98 million to two nonprofits, according to the state audit. $94 million was either misspent or possibly illegally spent. One of the two nonprofits, the Mississippi Community Education Center, run at the time by Nancy New, paid Favre over $1 million for speaking engagements. He did not attend, according to the auditor. Favre repaid the state the money, but did not pay the interest owed on the funds, according to that auditor.
Mr. Davis, as it relates to count one, conspiracy, how do you plead guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Davis pleaded guilty to federal charges, including one count of conspiracy and one count of theft, as well as state charges. Nancy New and her son were convicted in April for their roles in the scheme. Favre has not been criminally charged, but he is a defendant in a civil suit. His attorney claims he did not know where the funds came from.
Brett, it couldn't have been more honorable in any of it. He had no idea where it came from.
We'll see what.
That last part, trust me, I'm not even taking anything off Brett Favre. You're you are a scumbag. But that last part, minus the honorable, because you're not. Brett, to me, didn't care where the funds came from. And there's nothing that's showing that, hey, Brett, you're taking the funds from we're misappropriating the funds from needy families.
Yeah, there is. Dude was told, hold up, man. We don't know if this is legal.
Yep.
Yep.
That's all you need. You were told, hold up, man. I'm working on it for you, but we got to make sure that it's legal. I don't care if you thought it was coming from little old ladies who live in a shoe. You know there's a problem. And you said, hey, man, are you with us or not? So,
Would that
Pretty
not
much.
just still be? Because here's the deal about Brett Favre. This is what makes him a creep to me. Again, he didn't care where the money came from. Obviously, he didn't care when you said it's illegal, because it's like, okay, but I'm not going to get the blunt of it if you get caught. I just want the funds. It wouldn't now, and the creepiest one of them all, which, by the way, this means this governor is a blithering idiot. Wouldn't your name look good on the center? Like, dude, are you that thirsty for attention that you
Yes.
are willing
Yes,
to do
he is.
something
Yes.
so
they are.
Yes.
illegal and
Yes,
so
he
immoral
is.
just to get
Yes.
your name on a
Yes.
Get your
bill?
name
The
on a
answer to that
prominent-
question is yes. Absolutely yes.
You get your name on a prominent building on a major university. That's big. That's generational. That's yeah. That's why they fight so hard when you want to change the name of like a residence hall. They're like, no, you can't change it. It's a big deal to them.
This
But I
is-
think I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tracy.
No, I was just gonna say I don't get any of this. I mean, I get it. He's worth $100 million. He couldn't have taken $1 million of his own money and built a volleyball stadium. He had to defraud the people of Mississippi, the poorest state in the union. You defrauded them for what? Because allegedly he has a gambling problem. I'm not here to speculate what would make him take it, but dude, you're still worth $100 million. You're not broke. You're not starving. You're not.
You don't get rich by giving your money away.
Nope. There
But
you go.
Stiz, it's $1 million. He could
No,
have
it was $4 million.
easily $4 million, $1 million, long as it's not $100 million. He could have paid for that by himself.
That's not how
defrauded
criminals work. That's not how. And then I think that's a big part too, because like this is only catching buzz because Brett Favre's name's in it.
Exactly.
And then at the end of the day, if he gets indicted, because right now they indicted everybody else, but they haven't indicted him, right? So they're going with just public shame instead of criminal prosecution.
Got civil suit against them.
Yeah, but I'm saying
that's a civil suit.
I'm saying that's good. Go after him on a civil suit, but he should face the criminal charges that everybody else who doesn't carry his name is having to face, right?
Okay, but you're going to charge him with what?
With fraud.
With fraud.
That's what you charge him with fraud.
Whatever you charge some others was with,
all
him
the
with.
ones that, the same charges that everybody else
Same
caught
ones.
for misappropriating government funds and fraud. That's what you charge him for. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I know for a lot of people, the thing with Brett Favre is it's Brett Favre. And then they have their love and their affection for football. And they let that cloud some things. I don't give a damn.
No,
he committed a particular crime.
He committed a crime.
Run his ass up there just like all the rest of them that we don't know.
And how corrupt is the state government of Mississippi out here?
Very.
Just giving out like y'all got money for that? It's for TANF.
It's Mississippi.
I don't care if it's Indiana, Mississippi, Arkansas. I don't care.
It's Mississippi. Mississippi is the blackest state in the country. It's the poorest state, or one of the poorest. I think it's like bottom 2 or 3. One of the poorest states in the country. Still has 0, if I remember this correctly, 0 statewide elected representatives of color, right? Even to this day, they ain't had their first yet. Okay, so Mississippi, you know the movie Life, the state of Mississippi, they just don't care. They just don't care.
And they're different from the other 49 states because of?
They're different from the other 49 states because the other states get different levels of scrutiny. In Mississippi, they still function like it's 1935. So, yeah, you there, But if you're not connected or wealthy, don't nobody care about you. They have an elite special class, and that's all that matters. And he runs in that circle.
He still could have paid for that out of his own dang on pocket. It's not a football state. It's a volley.
Right. But he was doing it for his daughter.
Right.
Personally, I've never been a Brett Favre fan. He's always been garbage. He was garbage when he sent those messages to the masseuse and the New York Jets. He was garbage when he threw. I mean, just garbage.
I'm just saying, I don't care what his accolades are.
They were mediocre. I mean, his numbers were not great.
But what I'm saying, that's what I'm trying to.
I'm just saying it from the football sense. Yeah.
But I'm saying that shouldn't even be part of the discussion.
I
Like
agree.
this
Of
dude
course it
did
shouldn't,
this
but
thing.
it is.
Prosecute him. If Mary knew or whatever that lady knew, they got her and her son, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they dragging their feet doing it. I don't understand. I'm like, why y'all
Because
dragging y'all feet?
What they want to do is they don't want to actually criminally prosecute a national hero or football icon.
A national hero?
Yeah.
He ain't nowhere near national hero
Tracy,
status.
I mean, okay. I agree that.
How
That's
much
you
money
feel about
does
it.
he bring in for?
He
sorry.
makes money for the sports networks. He makes money for his local community. He has businesses. He's connected. He's a lot of things to a lot of different people who can move to take care of him a little bit. So if they can make this thing ride out for a while, so you get past the negative press portion, and then at the end he basically ends up pleading out. He basically, does like I'm not saying I'm guilty. I'm not saying I'm innocent, but here's the money back, and he did it too. Right.
But all the problem is that he did it too. All of them got prosecuted.
All of them probably haven't, because he can still roll on other people.
The governor is an idiot. Both governors are idiots. He's an idiot. The news are idiot. It's just
I'm saying put them all up there and charge them and prove the case.
Okay.
Why would you say he wouldn't be prosecuted, Marlon?
No, what I'm saying is this about Brett Favre. I'm not a Brett Favre fan, never have, and obviously I never will. I knew he was trash out of college. So that tells you how much I don't like Brett Favre. I don't give a rat's but if he throws 900 yards in a touchdown and he is a world won 200 Super Bowls and everything. I'm looking at the humorous perspective of Brett Favre, you're trash. I've done that with sports people. Brett Favre, Ben Roethlisberger. I look at the person. You could have a skill, fantastic. The skill ain't making you a better human being. So I'm putting that aside. My deal with Brett is, only thing I can say is Brett was just pressuring people to get the money. Get the money. I don't care. It may be illegal. Get the money. Get the money. Get the money. But the deal is, Brett wasn't the one who took the money.
He did take the money.
Somebody gave him the money.
The money and gave it to Brett Favre.
Right, but that's
the person who was in charge of the funding for.
By that logic, you would say to leave Donald Trump alone because technically he had other people doing the things for him. He himself didn't really do much. In fact, we all look at him as being quite incompetent, so we know that he had people around him doing his work. It's the same thing.
The only thing that he did, Trump did a whole bunch of stuff where his hands was involved.
What did he do? What did he do?
Took his classified documents to his home.
He can blame that on somebody else. Watch. It's coming.
When?
But so, I see where Marlon's going, though, because Marlon's saying somebody gave Brett Favre that money. They could have easily said, no, you can't have the money. It's illegal. Shut up.
I follow that, but that doesn't mean that you weren't part of the crime.
Oh, he's part of the crime. Nobody's saying he's not a part of the crime, but they
prosecute him
for because hey, you knew this was illegal.
You did it anyway. You was like, oh well.
Yeah, the shot caller is still
the money back now.
The shot caller might not have ever touched the money, but the shot caller still was the one who was directing all the plays. So, yeah, we're coming for you too, or should, but it's Mississippi, so
Yeah, the Mississippi, Alabama, yeah,
Georgia, Indiana.
Georgia.
You might not be
Anything.
able to make that fly so well in Georgia right now, but they'll try. But if you
New
talk about
Orleans.
the old South is still the old South.
Georgia's a part of the Old South.
I know. I just said that.
Oh, go say I'm like, women. I guess I'm not listening because I'm like, did he say Georgia's not the Old South?
No, I'm saying they are part of the old South. I'm saying that right now, though, Georgia, you couldn't quite get away with that same type of play because Georgia's treated far too metropolitan right now. So if you do it in the sticks, yeah, you can get away with a few things.
Yeah.
But try doing that up here in Atlanta, Augusta, Savannah. No, too many eyes on you right here. You can still do other shady stuff. They do shady stuff every day up here, but they it's a little different. Like,
Mickey, I'll take that. That makes more sense to me.
They talk about he paid it back.
There is a law that
minus the interest.
Minus interest.
Right.
You know, you didn't pay it back. You just paid some of it back.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't paying it back saying you did something wrong.
Nope.
No.
That's why you can.
Could've
That's
been-
why
Y'all saying no, and that's the most obvious answer should be yes.
Because how many times have the police killed somebody, paid out settlement, and not been held accountable or admitted any fault or wrongdoing? Happens all the time.
Yeah, I just want this to go away. So if you say that it's illegal, I just want my hands off of it now.
I hate this happened to you. I got the ability to give you the money, so I'm gonna give you the money. But I'm just doing it because I just want to make it better for you. I ain't do nothing though.
But I ain't do nothing though. Let's go ahead and roll into the Iran.
This country is a trip.
It is. Yep.
Let's go and roll into the Iran protest in which Iran, with this update, I hope it's in this update. If not, I'll tell you at the end. In which Iran is telling America, stay out of it.
Yep.
In Tehran, fists and voices raised, not against the regime, but in support, choreographed by a government stung by mass protests all week. This march called for those protesters to be executed. They're supported from abroad, she says, thugs and bad people. An army statement promised to confront these enemies, hinting at a crackdown similar to one 3 years ago that killed hundreds of protesters. Now there have been days of protests across the country, sparked by the death of a 22-year-old after she was arrested by Iran's so-called morality police. Mahsa Amini was accused of not wearing her hijab properly. Her death set off angry protests, remarkable since Iran's ayatollahs have allowed no real dissent to their rigid Islamic rule in almost half a century. Now there's support around the world. Outcries and placards in Winnipeg tonight. An Iranian expat cutting her hair in protest in Istanbul. At the UN, Iran's president, Ebrahim Raisi, said the West should pay more attention to women's suffering in their own countries.
The Islamic Republic of Iran rejects some of the double standards of some governments vis-à-vis human rights.
After meeting with Raisi, the UN Secretary General delivered a warning.
We call on security forces to refrain from using unnecessary and disproportionate force.
An escalation that's all too possible, given the most serious threat to Iran's leadership in years. Sasha Petrusek, CBC News, Toronto.
Me and Thea's talked about this, texting each other, I think, about the U.S. government haven't been using their weapons lately. Their military is being a little itchy. Seems like a perfect time to get involved once again.
No, I think this is what Democrats do. Okay, so American foreign policy has been interfere with, disrupt, and agitate Iran since the Iran-Contra. Okay, so no one pays attention to the fact that the Iran-Contra kicked off because America initiated the manipulation and interference in their country to begin with. So Iran-Contra was a response to American interference, right? Because that's one of the ways that America maintains its hegemony across the globe, is making sure it's messing with people to keep them unstable or keep certain people in power that they prefer to have or whatever, right? So this classic boogeymen are always there for America: Russia, Iran, and China. So every time a Democrat is in office, I don't care which one it is, they always make sure they kick up some dust with Iran, China, or Russia. I don't care what president it is, they all do it because there's something within the party that has certain affiliations that are motivated on those levels. I don't know where their money moves or whatever, but it's kind of like the Republicans messing with the Middle East all the time. You know, that's something that's in their ethos. It's like part of their identity. This uprising, I'm like, look, they killed this young lady. There's sparks off some uprising and backlash. I consider myself not foolish. So there's everything in me says the CIA of America and other Western governments and their clandestine activities are keeping it active, like hyping it up, letting it grow, trying to foment because they want the destabilization. They want that. Every couple of years we get a new one where America's like, look at them. It's a Arab Spring or whatever they want to call it, right? They do this constantly. So this isn't to take away from the young lady being killed by her country. This is to say, pay attention to the messaging that's being shoved down your throat. Because when these people throw up a protest, America says, you need to restrain yourselves, talking to the Iranian government. You need to restrain yourselves. Don't hurt anybody. Let people have their voice. They're reacting to abuse by the state. But then here in America, right, you kill one of us and we burn a CVS and all of a sudden we're terrorists, right? So that's why I'm like, that's why Russia, China, and Iran, they always say the same thing. How you going to see an election me when you do the same thing? Just because you're the big, as they call us, the great Satan, you think you get to just tell us we're wrong and you doing the same thing? So that's just something that annoys me about it.
It's in every country. They have to deflect. They have to deflect. Take your eyes off of what's going on in our country right now. The only problem when they deflect it back to America is, tell me where the lie was. So yeah, we may have by far, because I done seen some videos where there is no way I'm putting it on this show. Y'all morale police is full of crap. Y'all are god awful. Y'all don't care who you swing on. You don't care where you're swinging at. You just swing.
Yeah, they call theirs the moral police.
But you are the
morality police. Yeah.
Yeah. But over here, though, we don't have a morality police. Over here, we don't have the morality police. We don't have a theocracy. But we do have a situation where America has more people incarcerated per capita for their population than any other nation on the planet. So you can't turn around and look at these other countries and be like, shame on you for having a morality police, which is just basically your theocratic arm of your government. But then over here, we got the FBI spying on its own citizens, and we're locking up more people than we actually try to take care of.
I'm not taking anything from what they did. I'm definitely not protecting the United States because, again, when I say they deflect to the United States and I say, tell me where the lie is, apparently I was supposed to forget about all the atrocities that you did during the George Floyd march and protest, and how we all of a sudden went from protesting to being rioters, and how all of a sudden you kept showing that same burning building over and over and over again, like we was burning a different building every day. Like I'm supposed to forget that you use rubber bullets that has maimed people for the rest of their lives. I'm supposed to forget that you have tear gas that has affected people now for the rest of their lives. I'm supposed to forget that you all of a sudden want to shut down a protest early so your president can walk through the streets holding a Bible upside down and walk through a church that he wasn't even invited to so he can show how great he is. I'm supposed to forget all those things, and I won't.
Supposed to forget that dude, what's his name? Kyle Rittenhouse. Right? We're supposed to forget. We're supposed to forget that, right? Because that was part of
a. Going to wash a building, didn't have soap, didn't have a rag, but he had a gun.
But the part about it that was most onerous is the fact that it was a government crackdown led by the local law enforcement, and they solicited the assistance of militias. You see what I'm saying? So they called in an unorganized morality police of their own. So it's like, I'm not saying it to say, whataboutisms. I'm saying it to say, look past what's right in front of us. You can feel for the Iranian people and still be like, America, you really should kind of be quiet. Make your statement, tell them, hey, ease up, and then practice that shit at home.
This is what I say about deflecting. It's the whole stupid statements that they put on Facebook, and I'm just paraphrasing. You can feel for blah 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 blah, but then you don't feel nothing for blah 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 blah. In which my statement always comes back to, yeah, I can actually do both. So I can feel for the Iranian people. I can also feel for Black Americans in this country. I can do two things at the exact same time. I don't have to pick either or. And you're trying to say, well, we do something for the Iranian people. Well, you're going to have to let American people do whatever they want to then, or vice versa. No. I want you to stop beating women in the streets of Iran because they don't wear their hijab the way you want them to. At the same time, I want you to stop shooting us in the back. At the same time, I want you to stop taking body autonomy from women. I can do two things at the exact same time.
Absolutely. And then on top of that, factor in that we got to. I was saying on top of that, factor in that each country, each community, each area has their own culture. So you can't look at Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, or wherever through the American lens. You simply can't. That you have to take into account their culture and their infrastructure and how things are, even if we don't like it. I'm not saying you agree with it. I'm saying you have to acknowledge that everybody's not going to do it your way. And then also acknowledge that the way you doing it ain't quite right either. So, but America doesn't do that. America likes to export the idea of democracy just so they can, under cover of darkness, just destroy the country and cripple the culture. Because if America is successful in finally overturning the supreme leader and the president over there, what's the plan? I guarantee you America doesn't have one. America never has a plan for after they succeed in the first objective.
You heard them? They're going to say, rebuild your own country now.
Yeah, but they're going to say that, and then they're going to sit back and they're going to be like, look at these barbarians and how they're just not, they can't even take care of themselves, and they're acting like savages. And the same stuff they said about Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya. We break it and then sit back and be like, man,
they messed up.
We don't get years and years and years of support, and as soon as we pull out, I don't know.
And then we do it here domestically. We were just talking about Mississippi, but I mean, you look at a lot of these areas, and what they'll do is they'll say, well, these are Black areas, and they got like a Black mayor, but the Black mayor is subject to the infrastructure that's already there. So they have no power and they have no access to funds or anything like that. But then they'll say, look at these people. As soon as we give them their own city to run, they run it into the ground. Nah, man, it was already sitting on matchsticks. And then when you pulled out the support. So of course it fell down. That's what you wanted it to do, right? We do this all around the world and around the country, and it sickens me. And because we're so packaged to just take what comes to us, and very few of us on mass have critical thinking skills, so we just eat it up, and then it becomes, you know what, America may not be perfect, but it's the best place on earth because look at them over there, and it gives us that patriotic rallying cry that distracts the attention. You know, whenever things get a little shaky, we get close to an election, like almost every election, we go and we point at Russia, China, Iran, or North Korea.
Let's move on. I honestly don't even care about these last two videos. Like I said, I just want to clean out my files. Because as soon as I play these things, I'm erasing it from my computer because I'm sick of this dude. And I'm talking about you, Trump. I'm sick of you. I'm just really, really sick of you.
Ted Cruz.
Yeah, I got something for Ted Cruz, too. Trump in his brain.
So let me ask you this question, because I think this is the next logical question, because the president of the United States, you, unlike, say, Hillary Clinton in her case, right, a president has the power to declassify.
Correct.
Okay. You had said on Truth Social a number of times you did declassify.
I did declassify, yes.
Okay. Is there a process? What was your process to declassify?
There doesn't have to be a process, as I understand it. You know, there's different people say different things, but as I understand, there doesn't have to be. If you're the president of the United States, you can declassify just by saying it's declassified, even by thinking about it, because you're sending it to Mar-a-Lago or to wherever you're sending it. And there doesn't have to be a process. There can be a process, but there doesn't have to be. You're the president. You make that decision. So when you send it, it's declassified. I declassified everything. Now, I declassified things, and we were having a lot of problems with NARA. You know, NARA is a radical left group of people running that thing. And when you send documents over there, I would say there's a very good chance that a lot of those documents will never be seen again. There's also a lot of speculation because of what they did, the severity of the FBI coming and raiding Mar-a-Lago. Were they looking for the Hillary Clinton emails that were deleted, but they are around someplace? Were they looking for the spying on Trump's?
You're not saying you had it.
No, they may be saying, they may have thought that it was in there.
Okay.
And a lot of people said the only thing that would give the kind of severity that they showed by actually coming in and raiding with many, many people is the Hillary Clinton deal, the Russia stuff, or I mean, there are a number of things. The spying on Trump's campaign. So they spied on my campaign.
You went, dude. You went 5 different subjects in one sentence. And all of it made no sense. That is a skill. You are not, you're not Tucker Carlson. You're not Sean Hannity. You're not, what's that dude's name? The one that talks 50 miles per hour.
Ben Shapiro.
You're not Ben Shapiro. You don't have that skill where you could throw blah, 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 fact, rest of BS, 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 fact, BS, BS. You don't have that skill. Everything you said made no sense. You brought in the emails from Hillary Clinton. And dude, at this point in time, I have to tell you something. You have a unhealthy obsession with Hillary. Like, this is just now getting just, never mind. I'm about to say this is getting creepy, and then I just realized we're talking about Trump. So
yeah, the man that said his own daughter is sexually attractive.
Just went out the window. But like I said, and right now, delete. You can't stay on my computer no more. You a virus that may corrupt my computer.
But what did you think he was gonna say? I mean, this man has literally changed his story. First, the FBI planted it. Now it's declassified. Which one is it? Like, nobody at Fox, you can tell they're not a real news organization, because my next question would have been, didn't you say that they planted the evidence? So how can you declassify what was planted? That doesn't make sense.
This right now is, and Tracy, the only reason he's doing it, before I even finish the sentence,
Because he's an idiot?
No, the only reason he's doing it because it's worked in the past. That's it. If nobody's going to do something if it doesn't work. And everybody forget that, yeah, we can look at it X amount of years removed from him being in office. But let's not forget, the same BS that you're hearing now is the same BS that he used for 4 years when he was president. None of it made sense. He just threw stuff out there, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, he never said it, or we took it out of context. But it worked. That's how he's done. So why should he change his mantra now? It worked before. And by the way, the funny thing about it is we can pick on him and ha, and he used his brain and everything else. All the while his base is going, yep, that's true. That's exactly what you could do because he was president.
And I wonder would they respond the same way if Biden said exactly what Trump would say? Probably not.
No, they're not. They're absolutely not. These people are still trying to find
the Loch Ness Monster, Cookie Monster. Well, no, Cookie Monster.
The missing laptop.
Which isn't really missing.
Yeah. But the thing about it, though, is just they don't. I'll just leave it at this. All the things that Trump has been saying, none of his lawyers are saying it in court.
Exactly.
Right? They're not asserting classified declassification in court. They're not. So he can say whatever he says on the outside. Where it matters, where you can get in trouble for lying, he makes sure he doesn't lie. And then you have the judge who is blocking the special master that Trump asked for from being able to say, hey, Trump, you're saying this out there in the streets. You're saying the FBI planted documents. Here are all the documents. Which ones do you believe were planted? And the main judge pops back in, overrules the special master and is saying, he doesn't have to attest to that. So this allows him, all that to be said, this allows him to continue to lie in public. Because he's not forced to support any of it where it matters.
It's no different than when we went through the whole his lawyers I'm talking about during the election was stolen. It's stolen. We got hundreds and thousands of documents and texts, and look at all the databases that we got that prove that the election was stolen. Oh, okay. So under oath, was the election stolen? Well, I'm not really saying the election was stolen. I'm not particularly saying that the election was stolen. I'm not even here. This is Rudy literally saying this. I'm not even saying that the election, I'm not arguing the fact that the election was stolen. That's not what I'm here for. Then what are you here for? I just want the court to look into the probability that there's some, whatever word they was using at that time, there's a possibility of some states using the wrong whatever.
Yeah, because what they're doing is they want you to chase shadows. And the beauty of that is their base has already been groomed to believe in things that aren't real, not tangible, can't be proven, can't be touched, can't be seen. They've already been groomed for this. So all they do is, they're in their mind, these people, these deep state people are just that sneaky. They're so sneaky that despite all our efforts, they're staying one step ahead of us. But we know it's out there. And that's how they chase everything. If they get close to one end, the election thing, they couldn't find it anywhere. They hired their own people, and their own people end up giving more votes to Biden than he had going into the process, right? And they just say, oh, well, it wasn't that then. It was someone was manipulating the machines. And then they're like, all right, well, let's do the audit on the machines. No, all your auditors are in on it. Okay. So what's next? Hugo Chavez. Wait. You know what I'm saying?
Man been dead for like how many years?
Right. And come to find out, the only ones who stole election machines, Republicans. The only ones that were hacking election machines. They even had a convention for hacking election machines, Republicans. The only ones who got in trouble for stealing hard drive from election machines here in Georgia, Republicans. The ones who get prosecuted for voting more times than they should, Republicans. I mean, it's all what's the word when you projection? It's all projection. But their base, I think their base is so far in, they can't come out.
Even if they wanted to.
Yeah, they're locked in because it would be a psychic break for them to actually have to reconcile all of this.
I told you, it's one of those things now where we done got to the point where you're either a true believer, you don't want to think anything different, but you see why it went this certain way, or you have been so deep into it that you feel like, yeah, now I know it's BS. Yes, I know he's a liar. Yes, I know everything he said is wrong, but I can't accept the backlash that's going to come if I say exactly how I feel now about the whole thing.
That last one is the Republican, our Republican elected officials. That's the last one, because the last ones, they know better. By and large, there's a few of them who don't, but by and large, they know better. But they're in so deep that if they ever were to say, you know what, as more facts have come out, and blah, 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 whatever little smoke screen they spin, it was not stolen. If they do that, they are out of the club.
Yep, they'll get primaries so quick and lose, it'll be just a matter of moments.
You're right back to being a rhino, and you're out of here.
So their goal, I suspect, is those who are in the House or Senate that are up for election, they're going to continue to play crazy until the election itself is done. And then they're going to take the temperature again and decide, okay, now that my spot is secure for the next 2 to 6 years, is it worth it for me to step out? Because they still may stay in line. Because if they think Trump might win, there's no way they're going to break breaks.
They sure won't.
Because if Trump wins, he's going to settle scores.
And he's petty enough to do it.
Well, the last video of the night, this is Sean Hannity. And I get what he was trying to do. I understand what he was trying to do. Kind of backfired on him.
Democrats have been wasting almost all of their time and billions of your tax dollars with one investigation after investigation into all things Donald Trump, and this has been going on now for years. First it was the Russia hoax, then it was Comey's Crossfire Hurricane, Mueller's witch hunt, the Emoluments Clause investigation from the House Oversight Committee, a House Ways and Means investigation into Trump's taxes, another House investigation into Trump's hotel lease, another House investigation into foreign gift disclosures, a D.C. probe into Trump's inauguration fundraising, another similar investigation from the Southern District of New York and the Eastern District of New York and from New Jersey's Attorney General. One impeachment investigation into a regular phone call with Ukraine, a second impeachment investigation into January 6th, yet another House committee investigation into January 6th. That is still ongoing with more hearings to come. And then there's the Southern District of New York's investigation investigation into pardons, a DOJ probe into Trump's Political Action Committee, another House investigation into the Trump administration's security clearance process, other investigations into Trump's property valuations, and, of course, his social media, Truth Social, the Trump Foundation, as well as a variety of other tax investigations, and, of course, the National Archives investigation that led to the Mar-a-Lago raid. You got all that? We'll ask you at the end of the show if you remember.
Thank you, Sean.
Oh.
He named some stuff I had forgotten about.
Well, it was manipulative to make it seem like it is a longer list than what it was, but still, they're all real, whatever. But what tripped me out is, one, I can't stand looking at Tim Scott's face.
Yep.
Oh
yep.
my God, I can't stand looking at this dude. Ugh, it makes my stomach turn. And then Sean Hannity is a prime example of why trickle-down economics is a joke. At what point is enough enough? You know, like this dude is crazy, filthy, stupid, dumb, rich. Okay. That'd be like me winning the lottery and then showing up at work at the end of the week. Nah. So he's addicted to something beyond the money. He's addicted to the fame and the attention.
Look at bow tie wearing Tucker Carlson. He comes from money.
Right. So for them,
and
it's
he's
all
got
about
money. I'm like, what is it about with you?
They want the power. They want the fame.
The only thing that kills me about this.
No, they want the presidency. They just wait. They just like,
No, I don't think either one of them want to be president. Well, Tucker maybe.
Maybe.
I don't think they really want to be president. I think they want to be attached to power. They want to be able to rub elbows with certain circles and connections, and they want to always look at themselves on TV and whatnot. Because I'm like, yo, for real, break me off a couple mil. Hey, you ain't got to worry about me, man.
The funny thing about
you ain't got to worry about me. I ain't showing back up for work.
The thing about Tucker that kills me is when he even remotely try to speak to the lower masses, so to speak. They're coming after your money. They're coming after your kids. They're coming after your house. They're coming after your neighborhood. And I'm looking at this dude like, you've never, ever had to work a freaking day in your life.
He's working now.
Okay.
No, but I get what you're saying.
And I don't want to say real work. I get what you're saying, but I'm talking about when you start talking about protecting the middle class and the lower class, like you know what it takes to protect the middle and lower class, of which you've never been a part of. And when I say ever,
and he don't want to be around them either. Like regular people scare him. And proof was when one of those Fox people walked up on him in the sporting goods store and he about pissed his pants. You know what I'm saying? So
my daughter's here.
He don't like real people, but he does want to make sure that real people always serve, in his view, their purpose of being cannon fodder. We need y'all out there to line up to slow down those who will come and hold me accountable, those who would make my life less comfortable, those who would make me have to share any of my ill-gotten gains from, wherever I got them from. So you guys get out there, get your pitchforks, get your pointy sticks, and be ready, because after they get done with me, they're going to come to you. So make sure they don't get to me. All right.
Well, that's our first hour. Oh, by the way, excuse me. Delete that too.
Ted Cruz.
We're getting to him. So that's our first hour. We will take a 3-minute break to reboot and refresh, and we will see everybody on the other side with Am I the A-Hole, Real or Nah, and Foxy's videos of the week. So stay tuned.
Living for weekends, wishing I could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Take a breath collect the pieces of my mind. I know how to run from the dark and fly. Till my wings spread, levitate into the clouds. I'm so high above the ground. I'm rising. I'm soaring above it. It all. I just wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. I wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. I had to burn you. I'm rising. I'm soaring above it. It all. I just wanna be free. I wanna be free. I wanna be free. I wanna be free. Finally.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Let's go ahead and pay some bills. Please go to patreon.com/Tracy Media LLC. Help support Tracy with all her causes. Please do not forget to go to patreon.com/Complex Mind to help support Thea's and all of his causes. Please do not forget to go to my Patreon page /Radical Truth to Power, exactly the way that it's spelled, capital R, capital T, capital T, capital P. Please do not forget to go to Anna Hart's website, BorelliAccentra.com. Learn something that you probably never thought that you need to learn. Please, as always, do not forget to hit that like button. It really helps with our show and support the algorithm. If this is the kind of content that you like, please hit that subscribe button. And of course, do not forget to hit that notification bell. As you all know, I break down every section of our 2 to 3 hour videos into bite-sized pieces so you can have a chance. So please do not forget to hit that notification bell so we would always let you know when those come out. And as always, you can always leave a comment after the show is done. Wow, I did better today than yesterday, and I'm tired today. That's creepy. Am I the a-hole?
Am I the butthole for saying that I won't coddle my infertile sister anymore? My sister, Julie, has tried to have a baby for 5 years. She had a miscarriage 2 years ago, and outside of that, has been unable to get pregnant. My heart hurts for her. However, one thing that I don't agree with is how my family has handled it. We're just not allowed to talk about babies around Julie. Any kids younger than 3 can't come to family events that she's going to attend. She won't attend baby showers, baptisms, etc. That last one I understand, but the rest feels like overkill. I got pregnant last year. Julie was the first person I told about it, and she reiterated her boundaries. I said that I understood. The first hurdle came with my baby shower. My mother-in-law was throwing it, and I didn't expect Julie to come. Then my mom told me that I shouldn't have a baby shower, period, out of respect. I said that was ridiculous. She didn't have to come, so why did it matter? Only 3 people from my side of the family came to the shower. When my son was born, I posted a birth announcement on Facebook. My parents lectured me for this and said that it was going to hurt Julie. I said that she could just block or mute me. They said that I should make the effort. Julie echoed that if I cared, I'd stop. I ended up blocking her just to save drama. My aunt's 70th birthday party is next week. My husband and I planned to go, bringing our son. Julie called and asked if we were going. She then asked for me to get a sitter for our son. I said no. Julie doesn't want to miss the party. My aunt is one of the few people who agree that Julie's boundaries aren't fair, and she wants my son there because she doesn't get to see him often. Julie got upset and started crying, saying that I was unfair. I finally snapped and asked what would happen when she got pregnant. Would we all be expected to shower her with the love and attention that she refused to give other people's kids? Will her baby be allowed to attend events? She said that was different. I said no, I am not coddling her anymore. My son exists, he's family, and he's coming. She can decide if she wants to come or not. My parents yelled at me for being mean to Julie. They offered to pay for a sitter, but I said no. It's not even Julie's house. Am I the butthole?
Yeah, for that last comment. Dang, calm down.
Go ahead and elaborate. I already got my answer.
I mean, she, he, or whomever is not the a-hole in general. I was like on their side. That last sentence, though, you don't ask a person who's infertile, what are we going to do when you have a baby? No, you don't do that. Overall, not the a-hole, but that last comment, that was just a little low for me.
Theus?
I don't know. I'm like, okay. It's a tough one. But you can't tell me I can't celebrate a big event in my life because of an event in your life. So I'm not gonna mute my big moments because you've had bad moments. I'll try to be considerate and not throw it all up in your face, right? Like I'm not gonna show up and the first thing I do, I show up and hand the baby to you, you know. But me, I don't know. I can't fully relate because I would never be in this position. But I would imagine it'd be pretty much like I would talk to my wife and be like, "Hey, we're not going. I don't need this drama. I don't like what it does to you when we go through this drama. We're not going, and we'll go visit your aunt the next day, or we'll take her somewhere special the next weekend. But this isn't worth it. Your parents are stressing you out, which is stressing the baby out, which is stressing me out. So this isn't healthy for us. So whatever your decision is, I'm with you, but this is where I stand."
But the aunt wanted to see the baby.
My aunt can want whatever she wants.
But it's her house.
Yeah, it's her house, but I mean, this is my family.
I would have told Julie, stay your butt at home. That's what you do. I would have told her.
I can't tell somebody else if they can go to somebody else's house. So yeah, you want me to come, you want to see the baby, fine. But at the end of the day, you seeing the baby the day before, the day after, or the week after, you still saw the baby. So is it really that you wanted to see the baby, or is it that you wanted to see the baby on your express terms, regardless of how it affects my sister and my family? You see what I'm saying? So like, there's a lot that goes into that part of it. So me as the dude, the husband part, I'd be the one that would literally just be like, look, we're not going. Because I'd rather my wife be mad at me for us not going to this event. So now she can point her anger towards me, right? Than her having to deal with the hurt and all the other crap that's going to be sitting on her when she hasn't personally experienced this crap again. Now, maybe that's wrong of me, but that's how I roll. Like, if I got to be the bad guy to keep you from going through more pain, I'm going to do it. You've been mad at me before.
Anna?
This is a difficult thing for me to talk about. So I know where that sister is coming from, kinda. I can't have kids. Really wanted kids. Nowhere in even the remotest possibility would I ever tell my family now what they need to do to cater specifically to me. That's a level that of selfishness goes far. The pain is real, but you're blocking out so much more. You could have the love of a child. You could actually be in your niece, nephew's life. That's my nieces and nephews. I love them like they were mine. I would defend them like they are mine. They're family. So yes, well, it hurts. And sometimes it hurts to get another baby shower invitation kind of thing. But it hurts for a moment. Then I remember, I'm not the center of the universe. I also remember that there are so many babies out there that need a family. Obviously, if you were getting yourself ready, you have the money. Why did you not look into adoption? Why did you not look into sponsoring? Why did you not look into community service? Something. Instead of making it all about you and your loss. That's an unhealthy place to be in. It's an unhealthy place to ask your family to be in. I'm a little surprised that her parents are so supportive
Well,
of
can I ask a
this.
question?
Yeah.
So, would you agree that everyone doesn't shoulder grief the same way?
Yes, absolutely.
And would you agree that this is a person who probably is still deep in their grief? It could be to the point where they may never come out of it. Right? So, on the one hand, no one wants to see their child hurt. And the parents may be overcompensating and doing it the wrong way, but their intention is to not see her hurt, which unfortunately, trying to block somebody from getting through their grief keeps them in their grief.
Yeah.
But you operate with the tools that you have, and sometimes people have good intentions with bad outcomes. So that's why I was like, the sister who's having the baby, she shouldn't be made or asked to dull her shine. And the sister who's having the baby shouldn't go out of her way to say or do things that would make her sister feel pain. I just think those are things you do for people you care about, people you're around, family or not. So that's why I was saying, from my point of view, where we just wouldn't go to this family event because it would spare my wife, right, from that particular thing. It also would spare us having to deal with the complications of the sister-in-law, because we still also have the parents in this mix too. So it's like, literally, by going, yes, we have every right to go. Every right to go. But what's the trade-off? What am I really getting out of this right here? Right? That's the way I'm looking at it. So it's like, I think the sister who has been battling with infertility, I don't know, but it sounds like she's really, really struggling. This was part of her identity, right? You know, it's not just a matter of, I couldn't have a child, so I'll go and adopt. Some people make that pivot. because their goal is to be a parent. It's not 100% their own child, right? They're fine with expanding their family that way, but some people can't do that. Some people, their identity, right? Especially, no, I don't want to say that, but sometimes people are brought up in ways that equate certain things to even being a woman. So it's locked up in there.
Can you say that last part?
Sometimes people are brought up in such a way that having a child is equated to being a woman.
Okay.
Like you're less than because you did not.
Right.
And you're even more less than if you could not.
Mm-hmm.
So I just say I just feel like there's a lot of baggage that could be there, and it's not. I don't think it's right to call the sister who is infertile an a-hole because she's dealing with her grief and her pain.
But her
she needs
parents
help.
are.
She needs help more than anything else. The parents, I wouldn't necessarily call them a-holes, but I would lean towards them being the a-holes out of this story because they are the ones that have an important role to play. And they're probably playing it the best way they know how, but the way they know how is not the best way to play it. So, yeah.
And yes, this might be something that is so horribly traumatic. But once again, you do not ask everybody else to change everything for you. That is entirely self-centered, and it's unhealthy as a mindset. Her grief absolutely is real. I still cry. And it's 20 years later. So I'm not minimizing that one iota. It's when you start expecting everybody else around you to change, to coddle you. And actually, where I'm looking at this from, that I'm assuming little boy, he deserves his family. He deserves to know who his great aunt is before she's gone. Why should he be blocked off?
He's 5 months old. He ain't gonna remember. He ain't gonna know the difference between going to see his great aunt on a Monday versus going to see her on a Wednesday. He will not. I have memory, like I have zero memory of my paternal grandmother, and I have very little memory of my paternal aunt. All I have are photos of them holding me as a baby because they both passed away while I was still pretty much a toddler or younger. Like for me, I get what you're saying. I agree. Like it's ultimately easier to change you than it is to change the whole world to suit you. Right. And it's unfair to think the whole world should change to suit you. Right. I'm 100% with you there. I guess, and like I said, I'm not able to speak at it directly. I'm speaking at it from the position of being a father, looking at how my role would be in this whole dynamic, because you're not going to use my child as a weapon. It's just not going to happen, right? And this has all the makings of my child becoming used as a weapon. And so now when my child does start to have memory and understanding and gets to hearing family discussions and snippets and snatches, it could come across as he is why mommy and auntie don't have a relationship. So I don't know.
Well,
It's just a
she's
really jacked up
depriving
situation.
herself out of her relationship with her nephew. I'm like, that's where I can't get the cutoff at.
Grief.
I mean, I guess
grief is a hell of a drug.
I guess so, because I'm like, but that's your nephew.
And every time she looks at her nephew,
she thinks
she
about
sees
herself.
the baby that she never had. But not even just thinking about herself. Every time, it's not even about her sister. Or could it be any woman that's close to her? Every time she looks at her nephew, she will see the baby she never had. It's kind of like in my prior life, so to speak. I had a couple of different girlfriends over the years that a couple of them had an abortion, and none of them by way of me. Not that that's even matters, but they had abortions, and for them, at least for two of them that I can recall, it was very hard for them around the anniversary of the abortion, around the anniversary of when the baby would have been born.
Yeah.
And during those two windows of time, they would each become extremely depressed just seeing a baby. So I guess maybe that's informing part of where I'm coming from.
I see what you're saying.
Okay, here's my deal. And it's 2 or 3 parts. Number one, how far are we going to take this?
All the way.
The baby is 5 months old. Are we going to take it until he's 5 years old? Are we going to take it to
3? I thought.
years?
I thought
the
she
baby
had a
was 3.
specification
No,
of
no,
age.
she miscarried
said
3
5
years
months.
ago. Yeah, the baby's 5 months, but the other sister Julie miscarried 3 years ago.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, doesn't the sister have the she doesn't want kids younger than 3?
Yeah, she has that rule.
Yeah, she has that rule, or somebody
So
had that rule.
that's where I'm thinking
Oh,
it'll
okay.
take
I get what
until
you're
the
saying.
baby is 3.
So she's going to avoid the baby until after he gets over 3 years old?
Like,
So the
hi, I'm
baby's
your
no
aunt.
longer a toddler. When the baby becomes a boy, it might be a little different. And even then, it might continue to just track on. We don't know.
But you know the
She's
funny
making
thing
this
about
decision
it
now.
is, but you do see how this is a moving sidewalk.
Yeah.
As in, right now we're speaking as I don't want to see anybody after who's 3 and younger.
Mm-hmm.
The anniversary comes, and now it's been 4 years since you miscarriage. So now I don't want to see a baby who's 4 years and younger. Been 5 years since you had a miscarriage. Do you see how it can?
I do,
Are you
but
going to move the goalposts? Right?
Here's the flaw with that thought process, though. I get it, right? Because what's to say that 3 years doesn't become 5 years, becomes 10 years, becomes forever, right? And then when there's grandchildren, you're gonna go back through this spiral again, right? But that is purely linear thinking. Life doesn't work that way. So she could be on her way to a breakthrough that kicks in 3 months from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. We don't know. And I just think that being considerate without being captive to her struggle, I don't think that's a lot to ask for family.
I do, because she's been kind of. Yeah, I do.
I do. Because what she is saying, and like I said, this is just my opinion. And her statement at the end is what I'm basing it off of. She is basically saying, stop the world. Don't have babies. Don't let me know that you had babies. Don't celebrate babies.
Don't have baby showers.
Don't have baby showers. Don't even admit to babies. And I'm gonna tell you why I said what I said. Was because of what her last statement was when the sister said, "Well, what are you gonna do when you have a baby?" And by the way, just a side note, I like the way that sister said that question, because that proves that she does care about her sister, because she didn't say, well, what would you do if you have a baby? She was putting the spirit in of saying, so what are you going to do when you have your baby? And the sister automatically went, no, that's different. In which my question was, how is that different? Because what you're trying to say is, now you're saying, okay, now that I done had my child, y'all can do whatever y'all want to now.
That's exactly what she's saying. I don't see what's so complicated here.
It's not a complication.
It's not a complication.
It's
Julie, the sister, needs to
delusional.
grow the crap up and
It
get
is
some therapy.
delusional. It is delusional. It absolutely
So,
is.
I have
It's
to-
not healthy. It's not fair. It's not right. But this is your sister, and you notice what she did do. She still put up her baby announcement. She still had her baby shower. She still did her Facebook post because she's gonna live her life and she's gonna continue to celebrate her moments.
Yes.
That's what she's supposed to do. But at the same time, you choose what drama you want to be subjected to at any given time. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm starting to get worked over something that ain't even got nothing to do with my ass. So I just think it's such a big deal because it's like, I don't know. As one of my things, I guess a pet peeve for me in my real life, right? Is how people always want people to get out of their way, but they don't look at it the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that. What does it take from me? Like in any situation, generally, except for when I'm having my asshole moments, what does it take from me in this moment to be considerate to somebody else's needs, wants, or even their weird peculiarities? What does it take from me? What does it take from me for someone who is transgender, who comes to me and says, no, my pronoun is she? What does it take from me to just say she? It takes nothing. What does it take from me for somebody who, I don't know, whatever the hell they got going on, and they ask me to, they look like Bob and they say that my name is Sarah? What does it take for me to call them Sarah? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? What does it take for me to say, you know what, instead of going to this event right here, because you know what? We skip events probably fairly often. So what does it take to reschedule something or adjust something to keep yourself from emotional mess that you don't really have to deal with? It ain't about your sister. It's about you. It's about you.
And me is saying, I want to go over my aunt's house. I want to bring my child because my aunt want to see her because my aunt doesn't get to see her. Because
whose fault is that?
It ain't nobody's fault.
No, it's your fault. You the one with the baby.
I'm not calling that a fault.
Get your ass up and go see your auntie.
The one who's still dealing with don't want to see children under a certain age. I'm sorry.
I'm messing with you.
But Julie done took it too
I
far to my don't invite children under
with this
3.
particular thing. It's not right or wrong. It's just different.
Because here's the deal. Because
you're gonna do what you want to do.
Nobody has said it in the comment. Well, maybe somebody did say it in the comment. I haven't got to it yet. The same way is that you're saying we don't have to go because this is your sister. Sister ain't got to go.
She showed up.
Everything that you said, we could go the day before, the day after, and everything. So can the sister.
I agree.
So can the sister.
Yep.
But I'm not in a frame of mind to deal with this right now,
and that's a decision she has to make.
In the frame of mind, but here's what I'm going to switch.
That would be if she has a healthy awareness of herself.
I'm like, that's her decision to make. Regardless, I'm gonna cut this real quick, and I'll shut up. It's her decision to make. I can't tell her to go or not. I can tell the people in my house where we going because that's our decision to make.
I am even as a husband, the best thing that I can literally tell my wife is, do you feel comfortable going? If you feel comfortable going, because this is your sister, not my sister. This is your sister. Because I'm going to literally say, you're the one who has to deal with this. Me as a husband, all I got to do is hear what happened. Pretty much.
No, you're right. Your response is best.
I guess I'm going, but I'm just saying in general,
your response is
the
best.
Aftermath afterwards with the parents and the sister calling and everything else. I ain't answering the phone. I'm not taking on the onslaught of, hey, honey, hand the phone over to me.
No, we don't play that game. No, we ain't gonna play.
I get you, Miss. I don't have to be the one to deal with that.
But
let me finish real quick. But the best I can do with my wife is I will support you or whatever it is that you feel comfortable with. In no way, shape, or form, I'm going, you knock yourself out. Me, I ain't trying to turn anybody's anger on me to help her family.
I would.
If you don't want to go, I support you. If
I agree
you
with
do
that.
want to go, I support you.
I agree with that as
I
well.
have learned the hard way on certain things. And one of the things that I have learned the hard way is if it goes south really fast,
which it will,
they're going to blame you, not the wife, the aunt,
their
the
family.
parents who's already the damn delusion is going to find a way to say something. The sister,
so Marlon, check
but
this
she
out.
got what she
but
wanted.
it's just
So,
real.
no.
It just is real easy. Julie needs therapy.
Yes, she does.
Serious therapy because she's making people around her adjust to her. Girl,
She
is
ain't
not.
making them.
She's saying that you can't. She doesn't want to see a baby under 3 years old.
That's her saying it, but she ain't making you do nothing.
All of this is
people.
Really?
She literally said she did not want to go to an event.
Y'all just said, listen to hear me out. She can't make nobody do nothing. Everybody is making their own decision. Now they are catering to her and
her parents are
her stuff, right? But that's their decision to do that. The sister can't make nobody do nothing because ain't nobody coming to her house, right? They're going to everybody else's house.
It was Julie saying, like I do, I don't want small children around my house. That's just me. Because small children, they scare me. Small children scare me.
So I got no business showing up at your house.
Yeah, with a 2-year-old. Nah, because they're going to get into something. I got a lot of equipment. They're going to knock it down. Then I'm going to be mad. Then, no.
Now, Chris, I get the understanding of the manipulation, but dang, blasted dude, get well
card and wish her well.
That's how you burn bridges, and that's cool.
That's how you kill relationships.
No, I would just say, here's a therapist. You need to go see this person because you obviously have issues with losing child, which are understandable.
That's not how you deal with somebody in depression.
Sometimes you got to tell them the straight truth.
I know you would word it differently, but
yeah, but I was like, you know what? Therapy would really help you. It helped me. And then I'd be like, I can't make you go, but you really need to.
Or I'll invite you to go to therapy with me so that we can work on our
I just say I will go.
I have a child and I know it causes some tension and I'm concerned about us. So that's how you walk.
Yeah, I might say it like that, but since I'm just a
you don't just send them.
I'm like, here, go to this person. Because I'm just a straight cutaway. I'm just going to say what I think.
So do not join a crisis hotline.
No, I won't. That's why I
But Marlon, going to what you were saying, I feel what you were saying as far as what is it you would like to do, right? You know what I'm saying? And I got your back, right? I feel you. And most times that's how I will roll. On this one, I wouldn't. And that's my dynamic. Because when my wife and I got together, we made a promise to each other that there's going to be times where hard things are being needed on the other side of the family. So I play the bad guy for your family. You play the bad guy for my family. So we have that understanding. So yes, in that particular case, I feel that my shoulders are broad enough that I'll let you be mad at me to save you from what is going to be following. I don't need to see you crying all night and doing all this stuff and your mama calling you and making you cry all over again. And then your daddy giving you the silent treatment. And then, you know how this thing goes. You know how this thing goes. Family mess is family mess.
And I'm going to move on by saying this statement. What I ain't going to do is tell Foxy what we ain't going to do.
That's your call.
And then lay beside her at night and expect me
no, because she's gonna be in the other room because she's not gonna put up with it.
That might be the case that night.
No, real or not,
I ain't scared of nobody. You know what I'm saying? What I am scared of is my wife being hurt. So what I am gonna do is try. And now, like I said, this is just different dynamics. Neither one of them is wrong. I'm saying for me, more often than not, it's gonna be more along the lines of what would you like to do. I'm saying in this situation where they've had event after event and your parents are over here doing this and this
but dang, the family was kind of wrong for not showing up to her baby shower. I can see Julie not showing up because that's too.
So how hurt was my wife behind that?
My only fear.
No, they should at least showed up to the baby shower. That's your child.
How hurt was my wife when her family didn't support her in her moment because of her sister? How hurt was she behind that? I'll be damned if I'm gonna have her go through it again.
I got an answer.
Ain't gonna happen.
No. I got an answer for you. I got an answer from you from everything that has been said in this video. Do they give a damn that the sister was hurt that the family didn't come? No.
Exactly.
No, they sure don't. They do not care about that other sister.
See, you talking about the family. I'm talking about my wife. See what I'm saying?
Well, you done made it real, but we talking about this situation.
No, I'm not talking about my wife, Tiffany. I'm talking about my wife in this scenario.
Well, we didn't know. You said you talking. You the one said I'm talking about my wife.
It's about the angles that we're playing off of, right? It's just a difference.
That's like people who bring children to weddings, and the couple has clearly said, "Please don't bring small children to the weddings." And you're gonna bring
just being rude.
3-month-old.
That's not you being rude, but I get what they're saying. Let me answer this question real quick so we can move on. I have an unrelated question, but why does Marlon have a virtual background and the rest of y'all have regular? The reason is, Parker, is absolutely nothing to do with them three. It's the fact that I have to have a virtual because the background that I have is a blue wall. They have stuff behind them. I got jack squat.
I got a screen, dude.
I have this.
Yeah, like I have blue walls. I have a half picture of
you have
a
a
wall.
picture. You have a bed and everything. I literally have a blue wall.
I have a picture of when I was 5, or I had to be either 5 or 6 or 7, one of them 3 ages.
Baby Tracy, I want to see.
You've seen it before. Is that the one you put on?
No, the one I got in the messenger group was me as a newborn baby.
Oh.
Yeah, I was a big child.
We say chunky.
Chunky, chubby, fat, blah, 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 all the same thing.
We say chunky. We don't say big child. Real or...
Nope.
Go ahead.
Nope. I was going to say, when you weigh more than 10 pounds at birth, you not chunky. You just big.
That don't mean, you know what, and the funny thing about it is, please stop doing that, because I done seen a whole bunch of 9 pounds, 10 ounces, and everything else, and they grow up and be the skinniest daggone people walking the face of the planet. It's like, what did you weigh when you was born? I weighed 15 pounds, 7 ounces.
I ain't never met no child weigh 15 pounds.
How much do you weigh now? 15 pounds. Real or not?
15 pounds. Yeah, we ain't birth for 15 pounds. You got to cut that out.
Just eat. I'm gonna play this. Coincidentally, speaking of that,
15-pound baby,
15-pound adult.
Oh, they said a 15-pound baby being born.
No,
I'm sitting here like, nah.
I was like, no, food's the last thing that baby needs.
15 pounds, 11 inches, and what I'm saying was, I seen a lot of chunky babies when they show the baby picture, and then when you look at them as an adult, it's like you looking at them, you looking at the picture and going, what the heck?
Yeah.
Because you ain't nowhere near as chunky as you are now. So that's why I was making.
You're looking at a baby. You're looking at a seed versus a full-grown tree.
Yeah. So I'm looking at a woman. I say, how much do you weigh? How much did you weigh when you was born? 15 pounds, 11 ounces. How much do you weigh now? 15 pounds, 11 ounces. Trying to make a joke. But you
but that's not a healthy weight. No,
it's dead. I don't even care no more. You don't kill.
Rest in peace to that young lady, because she
I'm
ain't
like
make
15. Nah.
Isn't like the human brain 8 pounds?
Can I get to the next video? Y'all got on me about moving on, so
we're gonna let you move on.
Okay.
Oh, baby.
Mom sent it. My husband, Mickey, loves his mom's cooking. He always praises her for the food that she makes, and even mentioned it in his groom speech at the wedding. I consider myself a good cook. In fact, I'll just say it, I'm an even better cook than his mom. But the problem is, he doesn't even want to try my cooking or give me a chance to prove it. I thought this would change after marriage, but 5 months later, nothing's changed. So what does he eat if he's not eating what I'm cooking, you ask? He's requested that his mom sends him a meal every day to eat for dinner after getting off work, except for the weekend where we go over to her house and he eats breakfast, lunch, dinner, and dessert there. Every single day, he comes home and asks if his mom sent him a meal. I grew irritated of this, and whenever I tried to offer him to taste any of the food that I cooked, he would just lay in bed and say that he's full. So I came up with an idea. I cooked him the same meal that his mom sent him that day and put it aside until he got home. He asked if his mom sent him a meal for dinner. I said yes and served him my version of the meal, not hers. He didn't notice anything different. He ate the whole thing with no hesitation while I sat across from him asking him questions about how good the meal was. He went on and on praising it, saying how perfect, exceptional it was, how it was just what he needed after a long day at work. I smiled and said, "You're welcome." He froze and looked at me for a minute. He looked down at the plate, then back at me and said, "Wait, you made this, didn't you?" I said, "With my own hands and from scratch." His face suddenly went red and he got upset and said this was not cool. I told him that he never even gave me a chance to show him how good my cooking is and that he's probably just used to his mom's cooking. And he's rejecting all other alternatives, which is just unfair to me. He said that I shouldn't have lied to him and basically tricked him into eating food that he had no idea where it came from. I said that he liked it and he admitted that it was good, so what's the issue? He got up from his seat, threw the napkin, said that I was unbelievable, and walked out. He got quiet the rest of the evening, then posted about it on his Facebook in a vague post about being tricked into eating someone else's food like that. I felt guilty and bad, thinking maybe I really shouldn't have done this, but I was frustrated with how he kept turning down every meal that I tried to cook him and then say, "No thanks, I prefer mom's food." Am I the butthole?
He needs to be sleeping with his mama up there talking about her food all the day long
Tracy.
time. Shut up. Casey, a mama's boy makes me irritated.
The solution
I am
is
irritated. I'm irritated with
I think
mama's
she
boys.
just meant physically, not like metaphorically.
Yeah,
but
because he nobody can beat my mama's. Shut up. Oh, mama's boys irritate the entire being
Okay,
of me.
we're
Okay,
on the
so-
realm. We're still on the realm of is this a real story or not?
Oh, it's real. Oh yeah, there's
It
men
sounds like
just
the
like
plot
this.
from Everybody Loves Raymond.
This is
How in the world
1,000,000% real. Really.
So we just gonna ignore her passive aggressive behavior?
She should have told him to get to stepping. That's what I told him. I was like, you want to go sleep with your mama there? Go on over to the house. Bye.
How long that marriage supposed to last, Tracy?
I don't care. He's a mama's boy.
Oh, okay. You don't care how long your marriage lasts. All right.
I'm not gonna be married to a mama's boy. Sure won't. Nope.
Okay. All right.
Anna, what was you saying?
Give me a moment. Go to somebody else. Sorry.
They need to move. That's the solution. They need to move.
He gonna still talk about his. Can you deliver it through FedEx, UPS? Put an ice packet in it.
How realistic is it that he waits for his meal and then has breakfast, lunch, dinner, and dessert every weekend?
Every
They
weekend.
live right next door. They live too close together. I'm telling you. They live
That is
way
not
too
the
close
solution
together.
because then he's gonna want the meals delivered to him.
Okay.
No, he'll be forced to move. He'll be forced to grow up. But I'm just saying that's part of the problem, I believe, is they are way too close together. Way too close.
I think this isn't real. And
It made a great TV show.
No. This is
I
absolute
loved this show. It's one of my favorite shows.
real. It's too many mama's boys crawling around here under their mother's skirt, blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
Okay, here we go.
I don't deny that.
This is the biggest piece of bullshit I've ever heard in my whole freaking life. First of all, let's use logistics.
It's a real issue, but
yeah, let's use logistics on this, shall we? You're telling me that a woman cook one plate for her son every day. Don't worry about the weekends because apparently either A, he stays over his mama's house all
No,
day.
they go to
eat
house for their
breakfast, lunch,
dinner.
or dinner, or he goes over there for breakfast, leaves, comes back for lunch, leaves. and comes back for dinner.
Then goes home. Oh no,
I don't
and
know
dessert.
whose
Don't
mama
forget
this
dessert.
is.
Don't
I
forget
know
dessert.
What mama this is? My mama and a whole bunch of other mothers
ain't cooking that much for their grown child.
Cooking that much. And when
Y'all,
I sit there
y'all
and
do know this
say,
is not a healthy relationship we're talking about, right? I mean, we do.
That's why I say he need to go
recognize
sleep with
that.
his mother.
the most
Basically,
toxic relationship in the world. The logistics of it doesn't make sense.
Yes, it does.
Nobody will
Yes, it
cook
does.
one.
There are
meal
mothers that will
for
literally
just
do
their
anything.
child.
My son is perfect. Nobody's ever gonna be good enough for my son.
I could
blah,
also
blah,
spin it
blah,
another way.
blah, blah, blah,
She
blah.
had two sons. One son died. This is the only
Thank
son
you,
she's
Mickey.
got left
100%
alive.
Tracy. Thank you, because I'm sure
So,
right.
you know,
I
there's a
done
lot of ways
seen
that
it.
this could
I've
happen.
seen it with my
It
own
makes
eyes.
absolutely
This is
no
real.
sense whatsoever.
My
And by
mama's
the
the
way,
greatest cook
have
of
you
all
had a
time.
food? Have you had a food that you ate that you can eat almost every day? Then you had the chance to eat that food almost day, and now you got sick of eating that food.
Oh, she'll probably cook what he wants.
Yeah, it's not the same meal every day.
Why is she not telling him, hey, your wife is there well, no, you should do some of the cooking yourself. Don't ask your wife to cook, because that's garbage.
But here's the other part. Like, I think this, like I said, it made a wonderful show, one of my favorite shows on TV. But the other thing is, like, if he's not eating your food, why are you cooking him food every day?
Because she don't eat the mother-in-law food, and I don't blame her.
She made her own food, but I'm saying she keep making him food because she said it gets wasted. Why are you making this grown,
I would just
this
make
grown
my own
toddler,
self some.
this grown toddler? Why
Mama's
are you still
boy.
making him food?
That's why I don't think this particular
I
story
think
is
it's real.
real.
I've seen it. I have
But her
seen it
passive
with
aggressive behavior was also.
She did just
not
what
okay.
I would. Yep, just make it.
Yeah, it's very annoying. I agree, Parker.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, oh, yes.
No, brother, the way the dude reads the stuff is extremely
He's
annoying.
making it dramatic.
No,
Y'all
he's not.
used to just
He does
let-
that same voice every time.
How many voices you want him to make? It's not
How
Looney
about just read it?
Tunes.
Just read it.
No, you don't want that. I've heard the ones who just read it, and it's like it's cringy as crap.
Oh, well, he's kind of cringy too.
No
But,
emotions,
okay.
no nothing. Or you get the ones where, and by the way, for the people out there, you lazy little bastards, and I'm calling you exactly the way you is. It's already one thing to take Reddit passage, and you're reading it in your own voice, you're making it entertaining and everything else. And I got several people that I listen to, and it's really entertaining. But you ones that takes the Reddit passages and then filter it through a computer so it can read it.
Computer voice, yeah.
You can't
What did
get
you
no
mean,
more
Marlon?
lazy than
That sounds amazing to me. I don't know why you would find that annoying.
I don't, and she would not eat. And I told him,
Like,
thank
is
you.
this small
And he
wonder
looked at
or what?
me and said, "You did not eat. You did not. She did not cook this, did she?" And I just said no. And
Yep, they put their mother above every
yeah,
relationship.
I'm talking about food. I'm not talking.
No, but
I've
he's
read
putting
the
his
ones
mother
where
above. No,
Marlon, they're busy
mama
projecting
the
right
baby
now.
can't do no wrong. If you get into an argument, what did you do to my baby? If you have if they get
Oh
a
no, if she's
divorce,
fixing a plate every day, she will be doing that too.
I can't.
If
She
I
ain't gonna
was-
just fix a plate every day and then leave the rest of your relationship alone.
No.
That ain't happening.
because he didn't let her. He puts his mother's relationship above the relationship with his spouse, and he wrong, and he a mama's boy, and he need to grow the bleep up now. Told y'all, mama's boys.
I don't think he was ready to be married. So there's that part.
I mean,
definitely there.
yes, my mother
But
was
then-
a great
A
cook.
lot of these couples don't seem to be ready.
Yeah. And then at
Do
the
they
same time,
not?
though, don't ever try to go head to head with nobody mama.
Yeah, you're not gonna.
It's a different relationship.
You should
That's like
win
trying to
because when you marry
Should
your
win what?
spouse,
Man, please.
you're supposed to put away your mother
different.
and your father and
are
cleave to
not.
your spouse.
You're
Okay, that's according
supposed to
that's according to your magic book. But I'm
put them
saying
away.
that
Wow,
when
Not put them away, but put
What
the
I'm
relationship
saying-
of marriage above the relationship with your parents.
what I'm saying is
You're
everybody
supposed to
has
put
a
the mama
role.
and the mama and the daddy in the closet.
How about
Right?
everybody?
I'm saying
can
everybody
be
has a role.
like
Like I tell my kids all the time, I am 100% yours. I'm 100% your sisters. I'm 100% your sisters. I'm 100% your mamas. I'm 100% my parents. Like you each have your own roles in my life, and you have 100% of all of my love in those roles. If anybody tries to go against the other one, that's not going to work out well, because you can't. Like my wife can't compete with the kids, and the kids can't compete with my mama. It doesn't work that way.
You
Like,
should
I'm not
be
even saying
pleasing
that
to your
I
spouse,
live.
not your mama.
I'm not
Period.
living a sheltered life, Mickey. I'm just saying
Mickey is
when it comes to
1,000,000% team Mickey. She's right. It's some mothers out there like that.
Ain't nobody
there
listening
are.
to you,
But
Trey.
you're,
You like
I
that she
know.
said 100%. You
I
just
just
like
don't believe
you
this
just like this
story.
statement. So of course you gonna say Mickey right. So
She is
everything
right.
she
Because she's
said,
saying what I'm
what's
saying.
going
Mickey,
on?
100%.
But I think she got everything. Yeah. No,
I'm
all
not that
I'm
animated, but
saying
she's
is,
right. That
all
mama's
I'm
boy needs to
saying
grow
is
up.
when it comes
He
to certain things, when
does.
I can sit here and
What's
say
her
that
obligation
I've
to him?
seen emotional and verbal mama boy type moms who get into it and nobody can do. I get that. Remember even the TV show Martin, where nobody nobody
Not my mama
can-
biscuits.
not my mama biscuits.
Biscuits.
Not my mama biscuits. I can even go that far.
That's
But you
extreme.
literally want me to believe every single day in and day out, nonstop, except
She
for the
was dumb.
weekend.
If
where
she lives across the street, this is not hard to do.
He'd go across
See,
town
when you
and pick
said
up that
that, I
food.
was like,
How many
I
families
almost.
literally live on family land?
if they're
Where you got multiple families, all the siblings are on the same acreage. That is not hard to do.
She needs to run from this mama's boy. He's a mama's boy.
She does need to go on somewhere, because that thing where you try at the end because you want to be manipulative, that's not cool either.
She was offering to cook for him every day.
frustrated. That's not
She
She
was
was
frustrated,
mad.
so that's we'll call them on it. But I mean, what she did was still. Well, there's only one way it's gonna go from there. Well, you think you gonna prove him wrong, and he's just gonna be like, "Well, gosh, darling, I'm glad that you were able to show me the errors of my ways. I'm glad you can make the
No,
same
he gonna be
comments as my
like,
mother."
he gonna be like,
Yeah.
he gonna be
That's not
like,
gonna happen.
no, he's gonna be like, I'm killing my mama. Why, mama,
And-
get
but
what
you
you
know what,
did,
man?
mammy.
And we're only
Here's
getting
the
one
funny
side
thing
of the
about
story
it is
too.
what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking, oh, woe is me, you tricked me and everything else. I actually started thinking about the wife, like, okay, you may have changed who's cooking the meal. You didn't change the volume of it. So now that he knows that you can cook food just like his mama, he's still gonna need that meal every day. And now he gonna stay home and want that breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
No, he gonna be
But that's
going
what
to
she
work
thinks she wants until she
Yeah.
got to do it every day.
until she
Yeah.
got it. Thank you, because some women don't cook.
Yeah,
If I'm married to
yeah.
some guy, I'm gonna be like, yes, please go to your mama's house because I don't cook. It's not my thing.
Oh, you can't do that now,
I know
Tracy.
you can cook
You just got done raising him to ride at.
No,
You can't do
I'd
that.
be like, hey, go to your mother's house.
Now it's go to
Can
your
I
mama's
come?
house.
Can she have a
Okay.
plate for me? Can she have a plate for me? But this mother is manipulative. She should have been told him, hey, look, you were grown beyond
Mickey, it was
man.
manipulative from the standpoint of she had to be deceptive to get it done. That's the part that was manipulative.
And he's a mama's boy.
He is completely disregarding her feelings. He is not being a good partner. He is not ready to be married. He should have stayed his happy ass single, right?
And went over his
That's
mama's
all
house for
it is.
dinner
Mama's
every single
house.
But that
day.
doesn't change the fact that what she did
You
in
know
that
who he
particular
is.
moment was manipulative.
You know who he is? He's Vent Harper on Mama's Family. He ate at Thelma Harper's table every single day. Naomi never cooked for him. His first wife never cooked for him. He ate his mother's cooking every single day. That's Ben Harper. That's who
I
he
don't know
is.
that show that well, but I do know everybody loves Raymond. And his wife couldn't cook.
And it sounds like that.
His wife couldn't cook though. But it was that kind of situation where the mom was always up in the business. Always.
And that's the spouse's fault. Be like, look, Mom, I'm married now. It's got to be me and my spouse. We still love you and we still respect you, but you're going to have to slow that down a little bit.
Sometimes I just be sitting over here laughing inside because I be like, I play across so many conversations that we have and like how they don't line up.
Nope. But if she
like,
can cook,
they don't line up at all, man. You be over here on this one and be over here on the other one.
Hey, look, I'm talking about me personally. I can't cook. So if she want to cook meals every single day, I'm going to be okay.
I'm talking about in just this one conversation. Tracy was like, take your ass home, and then turn around and be like, no, hey, no. Can she bring me a plate too?
I'm just saying, me personally, I'm not this wife. I'm me.
You know what? That's a good point. Like,
you need to be here and eat my food because I'm making you food. Oh wait, you want to eat every day? Go on back to your mama house. She right over there. Go and tell her. She made that pound cake, right? Bring me my pound cake. Don't you taste my pound cake? I told you about taking bites out of my pound cake. Go get the pound
Don't take
cake.
8 bites out of 8 slices of pound cake. Make sure that the pound cake is intact when you. Hey, I did that when I moved
And I'm gonna
out.
need the key to the refrigerator. Where's the key to the refrigerator?
I did it because my mother was a cook. You think I actually cooked my own food? Nope. I bought groceries, dropped it off her house, sent the Tupperware, went right back, picked it all up because I don't like to cook. That's
so
not.
You were the mama's girl.
Yeah,
but you didn't have to deal with
she was a professional. I'm letting her practice her profession.
But you didn't have to deal
But
with
I was not in a relationship at the time. No, I was not in a spousal situation. I was like 22, 23.
Yeah, okay.
But I was not in
with my mama. I'm going to do the exact same thing you do. Get the grocery, take it over to her house. I can tell you exactly what my mom going to say to you.
Thank you, baby.
Thank you, baby, for the groceries and shut the door.
No,
she not gonna do that.
I'm glad that you were thinking about
your
mom.
She's like, I made some meatloaf, Marlon. You want some?
Right.
Although I still, and I'm 50 years old, and I still go with my mom's house, and she go, I don't know what I was thinking, but I got this big roast that I got in the freezer, and it's been in here for a while, so you might as well just take it and do okay. And I, like a child, think, okay, since it's been in there for a while and she ain't gonna cook it, I'll go ahead and take it. Then I look at the date and go, well, you bought this yesterday. The date
she bought it for you.
She bought it
mamas
for you.
Don't stop being mamas. My mama makes sure she keeps extra stuff in the pantry, so when we come over, the kids can go shopping in her pantry. That's just something that makes her smile. It's something that she just enjoys.
She happy doing it.
That's my kids.
That's what they do.
Yeah, I was like 23 when I was taking my groceries over to my. If she were still living, trust me, I would do it right now. I get all
23. I couldn't do it, man. 23, I was. Well, I grew up too fast, so by 23, I was
because some cooking is not. Cooking is not for everybody. Can't cook.
Everybody can make. That's what I tell people. Like back when I was young,
cook.
I was like, you don't have to be a cook. What you need to do is find 3 dishes that you can cook well. That's it. They ain't got to be fancy. We ain't talking about plating
eat chicken wings
and all that
every single day of your life.
No, but if you can make 3 dishes fairly well, like learn how to make spaghetti that doesn't look like it came out of a can. Learn how to make some baked chicken. Learn how to make burritos or something simple. You just need 3 good ones. And then the person that you end up with, either 1, likes to cook, 2, can also cook 2 to 3 good meals, or 3, got enough money that on the off days you can go eat something else. Look at that. You just took care of your whole week of food right there.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. But you think you got to be, what's that? Was it Gordon Ramsay? Putting out fancy stuff.
I never said I was.
I'm not saying you, but I'm saying like some people think that is what it means to be able to
That's
cook.
what I said. If I were in this relationship, I'd be like, hey, Go get me some pound cake and make sure you bring the collard greens. And then don't let the chicken and the greens touch, because I don't be liking that. And then, no, I don't like when my greens and my chicken touch each other.
That is so
You know what?
unfortunate.
Stop.
That is so
I
unfortunate.
know. I am so sick of both of y'all with these freaking rules and regulations on eat. Oh my God!
But that's all right, Tracy. At least you don't eat mayonnaise.
Thank you. I don't eat mayonnaise.
I'm with you.
Calm down.
Foxy's videos of
Think
the
of
week.
your heart.
Hey, but Tracy,
Parker,
do you put your yam, like the yam juice, on your cornbread?
Okay, now the
though?
yam
You do
juice
that?
on the cornbread is good.
Okay.
But man,
Parker, I did see your message in there. We will discuss it at the end of the show because we don't want to mess up the flow of it. But I did see your message, and we will talk about it. So there you go. Ted Cruz.
The audience knew the truth, and they couldn't help themselves, so they had to laugh out loud when Senator Rafael Cruz criticized Biden's speech.
End up in Pennsylvania and give a speech bathed in red light like Emperor Palpatine. That was bizarre. Where he called half the country fascist, or I guess semi-fascist was the term he used. That's not healthy. I've never seen a president give a speech like that. And part of the reason I think...
You see, I understand, but might a way to look at this be, I've seen a president give a speech like that. Hold on. It wasn't a good idea when he did it, and it's not a good idea when his successor did it.
This is the best. You're not fooling us, Rafael.
Ted Cruz.
I liked how the audience laughed. That made me feel good.
Yeah. Because you said something that was so freaking ridiculous. And
I've never seen a president insult half the country before. Really?
Really?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
In 4 years?
Yeah, the one that completely like took your balls and put them in his pocket and went home. He did it all the time.
Your own wife ugly? You're not going to? No, he doesn't do that.
You leave Heidi's name out your mouth.
Thank you for calling the Trump Foundation. How much many dollars are you donating today?
Boy,
I worked side by side with him as president. Boy, if I was his wife, he couldn't come home. He could never come home. You gonna let some man?
It don't matter because they don't even live together most of the time, from what I understand.
Probably not.
Hey, lying Raphael. Biden didn't say that. He said only the MAGAs and semi-fascists. Did you object when Trump called all Democrat fascists, not semi, in the January 4th, 2020 speech? See, but Mickey, you have to understand the base is not going to look that up. They
and
probably
Republicans
not
always say, well, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, they probably not going to look that up. And they said MAGA. All you got to do is replace MAGA with half the country. And by the way, you blittering moron, if you say MAGA and you equate that with half the country, but their people are not going to look that up. They have their marching orders. You said half the country. I'm not fascist. So now you're talking about me. It's.
Wait a minute, is Ted Cruz's name really Raphael?
Yep.
Raphael.
Where did he come up with Ted from?
Raphael
It's from his,
Cruz.
Oh, he uses his middle name.
Yeah.
But why does he use his real? Never mind.
Because it's more white.
Yep.
Yeah, you go.
He's no, he's not. He's Cuban.
Yes.
He's white Cuban.
Yes.
He's
They're not gonna. It's fake news now. That was That's not what was said.
The moon landing is fake. The Earth is flat.
Okay, here's the deal.
Was that the one dressed up as Trump at the time, Mickey? I've
Hillary
heard
Clinton has
so
a
many
double.
answers.
That wasn't Joe Biden. That was his double. It's really Jim Carrey in this. What? Why Jim Carrey?
He did a pretty good
Saturday Night Live. He was
Yeah, he did
decent.
a pretty
Yeah.
By
good
the way,
Biden.
Parker, I did see that too. I did see that the interviewer was what about ism?
Yeah.
Because and I'm saying what about ism because Biden did not say
Half the country. He didn't.
Biden called out the name that he was talking about, and he said MAGA.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say when a president shouldn't call out half the country, nope, no.
Yeah, that was the part that annoys me with all of the interviews and all of these segments because it's not even hard to do. Like you just literally played the 3 seconds before where he said that he's like, I'm not talking about all Republicans. I'm talking about MAGA Republicans. Like he was very clear. Like there was no clearer way for him to say it.
But they're gonna take, and both sides do it. They take what they just.
I agree.
They
but I'm saying
mush
the
it up
interviewers know better and they play along. Like
Yeah.
even this interviewer who called him on his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was like,
didn't
well,
call
both
him on
sides
that.
do it. I'm like, no, Biden didn't exactly do that.
Here's what he did was fed him the real answer. Ted, that's not what you're supposed to have said that no other president has ever said it. So let me help clean it up by saying, yes, we've had a president to say it and a successor who said it.
Right,
the
but he
truth
said it
about
that way.
But Biden didn't say it. That's a
But
false statement.
But that's what I'm
Because
saying. That's what
Biden
Tracy's
didn't
saying.
say it.
He didn't say it. The interviewer knows he didn't say it. The interviewer could have corrected it, but he chose to go a different way. And the way he decided to go actually wasn't him feeding Cruz the right line. It was literally making Cruz look like an idiot.
Well, he does that. He doesn't need help.
He
doing
did that on purpose. I'm talking about the interviewer did that on purpose. So it was like when a smart person calls you stupid without calling you stupid.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, the successor shouldn't do it. I'm like, but the successor didn't do it. And y'all know I ain't a Biden fan. I'm like, no, that's not what he said. No. If Biden said the sky was blue, the Republicans would say, no, it's orange. I mean, what?
That's how they
Oh,
do
you're
it.
going to sit here and say that the sky is blue? Have you never seen a sunset, Mr. President? Do you not understand that at the end of the day, when the new dawn is closing out, that we have an orange sky? And are you saying that is not American, Mr.
Wait a minute,
President?
you gotta add
American.
You got to add a state to it. Oh, the sky is blue. Guess you don't give a damn about Montana, where we have those when the sun is shading. Okay, so and the only headline you're gonna get is Biden hates Montana.
Yep.
Of course, nobody.
Biden said the sky is blue because he's a rabid Democrat and everything is blue to him.
Yep. And the sun is yellow.
That actually was a good one. That actually was a good one.
Yep, that's just
everything blue. What color's the grass? Blue.
How dare you say the grass is green? Sometimes it's brown. He's ignoring brown people now.
Yep. He's saying you're the wrong color if you're brown.
Biden don't like brown things. Wink, wink.
Yeah, I'm tripping off of like your background can't pick up your smoke. So it just looks like you yourself are smoking.
It's so cool. It is so cool. It's like a magic trick or 1980 special effects. One of the two.
80 special effects.
Come on. Never mind. This is the deflecting at its finest, or an example of it.
On today's episode of White People Doing the 40-Yard Dash into a 30-yard wall, yesterday I made a video saying how truly American it was that a black Colin Kaepernick lost his career because he had the audacity to kneel during our sacred national anthem, and a white Brett Favre took millions from the welfare system of Mississippi to build a volleyball stadium. And my comment section filled up with white people. Most of them I know are white because their profile picture was just a copy paper colored selfie, but the ones with no profile or a generic photo, I'm willing to bet some SPF 80 and a pair of Hey Dudes that they white too. They let me know how wrong I was and why Cap really wasn't in the league anymore. He sucked as a player. He made it all about himself. He was protesting on company time. He was about to get benched, so he pulled a publicity stunt. I'm leaving out context, etc., etc. Not one said a thing about the multimillionaire who siphoned millions of dollars from the poor state's poorest residents to build a fucking volleyball stadium for his daughter's college. They focused squarely on Colin Kaepernick. They focused solely on what they believe the black man did wrong. Sounds about white.
He ain't lying.
That's why I said I like him. He has a lot of videos like that. But that's what deflecting. So when we try to sit there and go, and we said it earlier today, you did something wrong. You also did something wrong. So I can be mad at
Colin didn't do nothing wrong.
Yeah, I could be mad at two wrong things at the same time. It's not wrong. I'm also not going to play the whole one is wronger than the other. But the deflecting that they're doing is, no, what you're saying is, because what we talked about was Favre. So I'm going to use that as the example. So Kaepernick lost the lost effort to play in the NFL by doing the most simplest thing. Meanwhile, Favre is taking millions of dollars from the poorest state in the. Here's where the deflecting come in. We're not going to talk about what Favre did wrong. We're going to talk about the reasons Kaepernick was not allowed to play in the NFL. So we're going to take all wrongdoing, not agreeing or disagreeing with what Favre did. No, we're going to tell you all the stupid reasons that I feel that Kaepernick doesn't play in the NFL. Over and over and over again. Because the stuff that he was saying is not new, by the way. None of what he said was new. He was on his way out. Although one was brand new, he's doing it on company time. It's like, wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, you really you stretching
now,
it.
that one was new. I never heard that one. That was brand new to me. But all you're really doing is take your eyes off of what this person do and focus on what this person do and the reasons behind it. So you're supposed to forget, wink, wink, what the white man did and reflect on the black man had everything that happened that was bad to him. He deserved it.
And I still be like, it's hard to overlook a man stealing millions of dollars from poor citizens, but hey, that's just me.
If you override the senses of people who already want to believe their heroes, their idols, their people, if their senses is already negated towards, I always have an excuse for these type of people doing wrong, then all they're doing is now I have to override your senses in showing you what the other person did was a lot worse. Does it make sense from a logical point? No, it ain't supposed to. And that's what makes it illogical. It ain't supposed to make sense. It will never make sense to logical people, but it ain't supposed to. Why? Unfortunately, because it still works. Why you got that look on your face?
Who?
You.
I'm sleepy.
Yeah, I am too. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Let me try to keep my eyes open.
I wouldn't do nothing but listen. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, let me move to this quickly while I have everybody's eyes wide open here for a second. There's no amount of protest in Cabinet Quiet Lean, not allowing them to protest quietly, not allowing them to march, not allowing them to speak up, not allowing them to be upset, not allowing them to be anything.
Yeah, but they allowed to steal millions of dollars from Mississippians. Apparently.
Doing on company time. Okay, guess they got to take away the money he earned during that 2-minute long national anthem. Well, then I'm going to go ahead and skip the next one and just, nope, actually, I'm going to give y'all the short one, then we're going to get on up out of here. Because everybody, it's the weather. I'm not blaming nobody. It's cooler weather hits you. It's like, it's hibernation time.
In my case, it's because I didn't take a nap today. So we ran long last night, and I still woke up at 8 o'clock this morning. So I'm running off of 4.5, 5 hours of sleep. So it's all my fault. I should have recharged earlier. So I apologize, everybody.
That's all right.
I was just meditating as soon as Ted Cruz was mentioned. I'm like, no, I'm gone.
So we're gonna leave on a good note.
I just read something that truly infuriated me. I read that there are over 10,000 United States military veterans that are homos. And I think that that is embarrassing. I think that, what's that? Homeless. What did I say? Homos? No. Homeless. It's the homeless. The fact that there's over 10,000 homeless, that sucks. The homos don't suck. The homeless thing is the part that's embarrassing. That's terrible. Over 10,000 veterans homeless, but can we do this again? No. Why? But it was a mistake.
I knew that joke was gonna take Anna out. I knew it was gonna take Anna out.
I wasn't expecting that. Okay.
All right, let's get through this real quick. By the way, Molly, do you still want us to sit us? Yeah. Yes.
I send them all the time, but he says mine are stupid.
First of all, I have never said one time that any of your videos were stupid. Not once.
Well, daycare girl, you said was stupid.
We'll never be on this show. By the way, here's the funny thing about it. Why are you on show her on your show?
My shows aren't functional like that. I have one show where I just talk about anything, and then I have another where I interview third-party candidates. Neither one of those. And you're the one saying send you videos.
Where you talk about anything, you could.
Yeah, but it's hard for me to share videos on Zoom and then have the other people hear them. Like, I can hear them, but then when I play them on YouTube, I'm like, ooh, they can't hear that.
I don't know what to
tell you. So you're okay. There's an extra step when you share your screen. You have to enable an audio.
Ah.
I'll take screenshots and.
I've used some of your videos, Mickey.
All one you used was Linda Paulson.
Here's
Linda
the deal, Mickey. I take that back. You send it through Messenger, and I have found it really, really hard. Like Anna sent her videos through Messenger, and I found it like I have no idea how to download it to use it when you was doing the singing during the intro and everything.
Right.
And I couldn't. I got it, but now I can't remember exactly what I did to get it.
Oh, I take it back.
Okay.
You used Desperate Times Call for Desperate Measures, and the Renewed Mind is the Key Guide, and the Linda Paulson.
There you go.
But I've sent way more than that. Way more.
You have a.
I've sent a couple. He hasn't shown one. I
They
sent
told
one
me
that
I
was
sent him videos.
perfect for Father's Day. Did he? No.
No.
I don't know.
Just sitting there ignoring you like you ain't got nothing else to do but send him videos. Then he don't even use them. Don't send me videos. You don't use them. Why am I sending them?
He's played every video I've ever sent him.
Gee, I wonder why.
Oh.
Could it be the mail?
The
He's just sticking
It could be
Yeah.
because I've never sent him any.
Because he never sent them.
So how should email it to me, Mickey? Email.
Oh,
them
okay.
to me.
So now I know.
Yeah.
Email them to me.
Linda Paulson for Congress.
I was gonna play that regardless. What?
Yep. 3 women who've all said we sent videos.
Me love you, Martin.
I don't feel the love.
Oh, be quiet. You.
Tracy, tell everybody where they can find you.
Tracy Media LLC, all platforms.
Anna.
You can find me in the back meditating and with my dog. And at BrilliantEtc.com.
Theus, while you're awake.
Best place to find me is right here because you don't never know when I'm gonna show up somewhere else. So right here on Marlon Stuff. There you go. That's where you find me at. Right around here.
And
so sometimes I be on Patreon. Oh yeah. Check me out on Patreon. Really would appreciate it. Patreon.com/ComplexMind. We're just gonna really push far into the back to school program with the head start that we're already taking, and with the tremendous support that we have. We are easily going to surpass last round for next school year. I mean, we're almost a quarter of the way there now, right? So that's a big deal. So more support would be greatly appreciated, folks. Please. Oh, you can find that at complexsimpleman.com. No, yes, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, so it is easy to mess that up.
But I didn't though.
I didn't say you didn't. I just said it is easy to mess that up. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-conforming individuals, that is our show for the night. I truly appreciate everybody coming in. Please hit that like button on the way out the door. Oh, sorry. We will see y'all next Sunday. There is no Saturday show. Y'all have to take care of a little bit of business. Nothing bad. So, I don't want no text messages. You okay? I'm fine. It's just going to take the time. I just didn't want to go through the rigmarole of trying to find a way to maneuver certain things. So, that's Sunday at 8 p.m. will be our next show. So I will see y'all next Sunday. Also, please do not forget to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification bell. I will be breaking this video down tomorrow, not tonight, because I'm going to bed. And until next time, we will see you when we see you. Peace.